guys could make it this morning on a 19-degree morning here in DC. I want to wish everybody Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. It's really great to see everybody, and hopefully we'll be getting ready for a great new year. I wanted to start by thanking our host committee and our prep team. Their photos are right here in the program book. So they've been so great to help us, and we're indebted to them. Also want to shout out our partners. They're in the book here. I'm going to read them off. I want to thank the Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. We'll hear from David soon. Refraction, which is in this building on the 8th floor. It's the premier co-working and community technology hub here in the region. Forvis Mazars, we'll hear from Marlon soon. Buzzy Rocket, next, powered by Shulman Rogers. Keiretsu Forum, the Founder Institute, Startup Grind, the MIT Alumni Angels, Northern Virginia Chamber, Northern Virginia Technology Council. We'll hear from Jen soon. Citrine Angels, Stephanie, I know you're here. Blue Venture Investors, the Chicago Archangels, the Maryland Tech Council, the Center for Advancing Innovation, Georgetown Entrepreneurship. Jeff Reed, where are you? I saw you earlier. There he is. We've got the annual Wharton DC Innovation Summit, the Dingman Center for Entrepreneurship, Dingman Lamone Center for Entrepreneurship. We got Ryan Wetmore, FITCI, Entrepreneurs Organization, and Enterprise Transformation Solutions. Let's give it up for all of our partners. Thank you guys so much. Also, I want to direct you to this QR code page. It's the second to last page. And in this, the QR codes have the list of all the attendees. So you'll see that, as well as our next event, which will be in San Francisco. If anyone's going out for JP Morgan, we're hosting our annual investor brunch on Sunday the 11th. And then after that, we have another CONNECTpreneur in Baltimore at UMBC, at the BW Tech at UMBC. Margie, are you here? Margie, where are you? Okay, there she is wearing red. So if you're interested, let her know, or we have a QR code at our table too. All right, so I think we got a little housekeeping out of the way. So I'd like to kick things off by bringing up Ray Stott, who's the CEO of Refraction. Ray has been a great partner. She's a real great, she's a co-founder of Refraction. What a leader. And thank you for hosting us, and we appreciate you. Please let us know about Refraction.
Thank you so much, Deanne. Welcome, everybody. It is always lovely to see so many smiling faces on a freezing morning in the DMV. I'm an Aussie. I've lost my accent for the most part. It's not that cold in Australia at this time of year. If you're in a period of uncertainty and constant change, so an entrepreneurial journey or the DMV in 2025, people tend to make all of the difference. The people to your left and your right, the people you call when you're stuck, the person that gives you an idea that you hadn't thought of, and that's you today. Everybody who showed up, whether you're presenting or a partner or an investor, you're a piece of that web that supports that ecosystem that lifts up these entrepreneurs and makes this such a wonderful place to do business. So thank you for your attendance today. We do open our doors every Tuesday because that uncertain DMV 2025 has seen so many of the incredible talented people in our region displaced. And so every Tuesday we open the doors to help budding entrepreneurs or displaced federal workers work shoulder to shoulder, get advice and career coaching. So there's a nice ecosystem upstairs if you don't want to brave the cold again and would like free Wi-Fi and coffee. So we encourage you to join us upstairs once this wraps, but thank you so much and have a wonderful morning.
Thanks for everything, Ray. So how many of you are here for the first time, CONNECTpreneur? So some of you guys. We've been doing this. Anyone want to guess how long we've been doing this? Who said 15? Very close, Marty. You were one of the originals. We're going into our 15th year, and we started here in Tysons, and this is our home base. And my office is upstairs as well. But is Mike Labriola in the room? Where's Mike? Well, Mike is one of our original sponsors. How about Derek and Mel? Are you guys here? They're outside, I guess, with cadre. We have a lot of OGs here, and I just want to thank everybody, thank them especially for the support that they've given us over the years. Next is Fairfax County Economic Development Authority. David Kelly is the Vice President of Business Investment. They've been an instrumental partner of CONNECTpreneur for many, many years. And we appreciate everything you've done, David. Please come up and tell us about the great things you've been doing and what you plan for next year. Let's give it up for David.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning and welcome. As you stated, I get to work with the business investment teams, and we have three of them. We have the international team, we have the national team, and we have small business and entrepreneurship. And we are so proud to work with startups in Fairfax County that are changing our landscape, as well as creating innovative ideas for companies as well as people. In fact, in Fairfax County, 90% of our companies have less than 50 people working for them. And why is that? It's because it's a safe place to come up with ideas. It's a safe place to create a business as well. And I'd like to share some examples with you. We had one company, it's Appian. They're right here in the building. They're headquartered here. And it was started by four guys who had graduated from Dartmouth. They were on the debate team. And I could just imagine them thinking about how they were going to create a company and how they debated that. But what their focus was to really help businesses be more effective and efficient. And so that was their start, and they came up with a low-code solution. And today they're over 2,000 strong. They have 3 offices in the United States and 9 internationally. And so they're just a wonderful company here. Another one is ID.me. Blake Hall started ID.me. They just celebrated their 15th anniversary. They started in February of 2010. And Blake was at a restaurant, and he saw a military veteran have to pull out his separation papers and a lot of other papers to get a discount that the restaurant was offering. And he thought that was just wrong, because separation papers have so many private information on there about the person. So he created and started ID.me with that and the digital wallet. He now has almost 140 million users of his digital wallet. The last one I'd like to talk about is James Quigley, Go Canvas. He started his company in 2008 in Fairfax County, and I met with him. He had an office of 3 great people, and he gave me a whole demonstration of what he was trying to do. And it was just amazing to see that. I was so excited, I wanted to join the company. But the next year, I met with him, and he said, I've run out of friends and family, I need help. And so we have a venture person at Fairfax County, and that person got him 2 rounds of funding. The first round of funding was right here at CONNECTpreneur. And in 2012, he was rated the best product for the London Olympic Games. And that was just amazing. So we got to celebrate with him at the British Embassy. And then fast forward to 2024, he sold his company and did quite well with that. But he's giving back to the community, and that's one thing that he's focused on. So he's working with startups, he's working with Fairfax County Economic Development Authority, and we have a conference. It's an entrepreneurship conference in January 13th, and you can hear more about him as he's going to be the final speaker as Fireside Chat with Victor Hoskins, our president and CEO. So we try at the agency, we try to get a lot of cooperation, and also connect people with what they need. And thank you for allowing me to speak today.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much. Thanks, David. We really appreciate everything you guys are doing here. Speaking of OGs, I wanted to shout out Rich DePippo, who's one of our original sponsors. Rich, where are you? There he is. And Ryan and Wetmore as well. You'll see them at the table outside. And also, it takes a village to build a community, and I want to thank many, many partners that we've had over the years, including the Cybersecurity Alliance. You'll hear from Tasha soon. The the Maryland Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Marco, right over here. Thank you, Marco. Marco has the fastest growing chamber in the country. He went from about 60 members to 5,000 in how many years? 1,100, but you're, sorry, so 60 to 1,100, but congratulations. How many years was that? 3.5 years, so amazing. And thank you for all your support. Matthew Lee with Kobe and IDC. Matthew, thank you for all your help and support. Institute for Effective Professional Selling, Freddie Diamond. I know he was here earlier, but Freddie's been a great partner over the years. And Cindy Shaw with the Asian American Chambers. So thank you guys for all your support. It really does take a village. Next up, speaking of partners, we love the NVTC. We've been working with them for many, many years. And to say a few words is their fearless leader, Jennifer Taylor, President and CEO. Jen, thank you for your support. Jen had a big event last night, Tech 100. So for those of you who are there, I really applaud you guys for getting up early and you know, loading up on the caffeine. But anyway, come on up, Jen. Let's give it up for Jen. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, is this on? Great. So thank you, CONNECTpreneur and TN, for inviting me again this year. What I'd like to do this morning is share a little bit about NVTC and our region's Tech Hub for those of you who are not fully aware of what we do. We are now in our 35th year, and NVTC is the leading trade association representing and serving Northern Virginia's tech community. We have over 500 members, including Appian and FCEDA. Who you just heard from, and we have 100 very impressive board members. I encourage you to look at our website to see them all. Our membership is made up of Fortune 100 tech companies, tech startups, government contractors, service providers, and we also have 12 academic institutions. NVTC continues to be at the forefront of this region's tech industry, and we are proud to be one of the oldest, largest, and most influential tech councils in the nation. There are tech councils all across the 50 states. NVTC has played a pivotal role in shaping the technology landscape of this region for almost 4 decades. We've just gone through many waves of technology evolution, starting in the early 1990s when the internet was commercialized. And it's exciting to see the region evolve over time. When people ask me what NVTC does, I sum it up into 4 words. We connect the tech ecosystem, educate through our signature events and our 7 communities of interest. We advocate not only in Richmond, but at the national level. We have very strong relationships with our senators. In fact, I had them at our board meeting last night, and we stay very in close touch with them. And we also celebrate the innovation and the leaders who are making a positive impact in the area. Look, I know that 2025 has certainly kept us on our toes. This was a year unlike any I ever expected, with federal workforce reductions, agency downsizing or closing completely like USAID, and we had a historic government shutdown this fall. We also have seen higher ed in our state be under intense scrutiny, including UVA and George Mason, 2 institutions that are absolutely essential to our innovation economy. But when challenges arise, this tech community doesn't sit on the sidelines, and neither does NVTC. So despite the headwinds, what continues to inspire me is how this tech community shows up. And we have done, and we will continue to advocate for business-friendly policies in the state and friendly tech innovation policies that have a positive social impact. We will continue to accelerate tech innovation to solve real-world challenges. Our region is comprised of companies taking on some of the most pressing challenges right now in areas from Gen AI, cyber, quantum, data centers, cloud computing, semiconductors, defense tech, commercial space. There's just so much happening. And I invite any of you to sign up to attend our communities of interest. We've had incredible speakers this year, from Dmitry Alperovich, co-founder of CrowdStrike. We've had content on quantum. We have a major quantum computing company here in Maryland called IonQ. So if you want to stay abreast of all that is happening, we invite you to come and attend NVTC events. Look, we also have, we're also facing a really challenging time. We are seeing so many positive impacts of AI in the workforce and in education, But as you have been reading in the headlines, we will and have been seeing some displacement in the workforce. In fact, last night, Senator Kaine informed us that right now, the unemployment rate for college graduates is 9% and could go up to 20 in the next year. So it's really imperative right now that we teach incumbent workers as well as our students, K through 12 and in college, how to work with AI. And if Jonathan Aberman's in the room, he will tell you that it's very important that we teach everyone how to use AI to drive originality. We need to use AI to create original ideas and not homogenous ones, AKA AI slop. So we will get through this transformation. I am very positive about that. NVTC has united this tech ecosystem for 35 years, as I said, and we will do this again. So we have a lot to be proud of. These are unprecedented times. I think I read $3 trillion is being invested in AI infrastructure. You know, there's conversations of a bubble, but the cat's out of the bag, or the lion's out of the cage, I guess. This is Tien and I have a lion joke, but these are unprecedented times, and this is where we have to lean in and come together. So I invite you to participate in NVTC, join or attend any of our events, visit our website. And lastly, I'd like to say I'm excited to hear all the presentations today. I wish everybody the best of luck. And also, I wish everyone a happy holiday season with their families. So thank you, Tien.
All right. How many of you guys have heard of Techstars? Anybody? All right. Techstars is one of the world's largest and leading incubators and accelerators. They have a, how many of you know that there's a Techstars in DC? Okay, well, Keith is going to come on up, and Keith Kamhai, who's the managing director of Techstars in DC, he's done an amazing job and really one of the more successful bright stars in the Techstars community constellation. So Keith, welcome, and thank you for joining us this morning, and let's hear all about Techstars.
Oh, thanks for having
Thank you.
me. Thanks. Hello. I'm Keith Kem. I'm Managing Director of the Techstars Healthcare Accelerator based in Washington, D.C., and we run here in partnership with Permanente Medicine, which is the DMV-based physician group, part of Kaiser Permanente locally. And I'll give, since not everyone knows Techstars generally, I'll tell you a little bit about Techstars globally and then what we're doing locally as well. But Techstars is a global startup accelerator. We make pre-seed stage investments, $220,000 investments in groups of 10 companies at a time, and get them into nodes and supply them mentorship. But the backstory on Techstars, for context, is that at Techstars we're fundamentally all inspired by the idea that entrepreneurs can change the world. And that's because entrepreneurs are the crazy ones who answer a calling to make a difference by building something they think the world needs or fixing something they think is broken. And the impact of that, if successful, can be enormous, both for the entrepreneurs, for their investors, but also for society at large, with the types of things that entrepreneurs can be working on and solving. And for us locally working in the healthcare space, the stakes are quite high with a broken system here that we're trying to resolve, and innovation can play a role. But the challenge with a startup is that it's extremely hard and risky. Entrepreneurs work long hours, little pay. They have to make progress quickly on very limited resources and get there and de-risk it rapidly. And ultimately, there are a lot more ways to fail than succeed. So with that in mind, Techstars started nearly 20 years ago now in Boulder, Colorado as an experiment. And the experiment was to get 10 promising companies together with outstanding founding teams and support them in a few ways. A little bit of capital, and we're up to $220,000 now as the check size. A structured program of best practices for a startup, and then most importantly, surround them with about 100 mentors per class of people who had been through the entrepreneurial journey before and learned a lot of lessons the hard way. And the idea was to try to help them avoid some of the more common mistakes that we all made along the way so they could chart a faster, better, more likely path to success. So that was the experiment, and needless to say, that worked out. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here talking about it. But it's gone on now to be run a couple dozen times all around the world. We have programs in Tokyo, Australia, London, all over the U.S., and nearly 5,000 companies have graduated from a Techstars Accelerator. They've raised over $30 billion of venture capital, and they have an aggregate market cap of $130 billion, hundreds of exits already, including 22 unicorns. And I mentioned those last few stats to say that not only do we think the model works and do we think the companies are pretty special, but third-party investors vote with their wallets to say they think so as well. The unique thing about Techstars, the other major startup accelerator is Y Combinator, which runs as very large classes in Silicon Valley. Techstars runs as distributed network of nodes all over the place. So we run as 10 companies at a time, 3-month accelerator programs with that same mentorship model. And it allows us to focus in different smaller ecosystems, not just San Francisco and New York, but any place, any top 10, 20 ecosystem we can go into and run a strong program. And we can also verticalize it. And so that's given rise to the so-called partnership accelerator. Techstars is the leading corporate partner accelerator in the world, and that started 15 years ago with the first 3 partners being Microsoft, Nike, and then Disney. And so we are able to then go into a vertical like healthcare and run a themed program. And so that's what we're doing in DC now. So if you're interested in healthcare-related investing or have a startup in healthcare, the secret sauce that we add on to just our accelerator locally is that the Kaiser physicians are deeply involved as mentors in the program as well and add subject matter expertise and the potential for the startups to get a pilot. So we just finished our first class in town, and we brought in 10 startups from 5 different countries, and including for anyone doing economic development, a couple are now moving to the U.S., moving to Virginia and Maryland, from Poland, from the UK, and from Korea to run their companies here based on having gotten pilots with Kaiser during the process at a much earlier stage than you would normally get as a startup. Usually you're kind of Series B by the time you can knock on the door there. And we'll be running each fall here. So if anyone has a healthcare startup, knows a healthcare founder, wants to be involved in the healthcare space, investing in companies that come out, hit me up. If you are interested in deal flow or if you're interested in a different themed accelerator around the world, I can connect you with that as well. But it's great to be here and look forward to chatting with anyone who might be in that space. Thanks. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Great stuff. Yeah. Thank you, Keith. Next up, I'd like to bring up Tasha Cornish, who's the Executive Director of the Cybersecurity Alliance. Tasha, thank you so much for your support, and let's hear a little bit about some of the great things you've been doing this year and some great plans you have for next year.
Thanks, Dan. All right. Hello, everybody. It's great to be here at Vallow Park today. Thank you so much to our fellow partners and sponsors here. So the Cybersecurity Association, we are a trade association and membership group operating primarily throughout the DMV, bringing the ecosystem together to lead the advancement of cyber through advocacy and collaboration. So our 3 main pillars center around business growth and innovation. So this is the center for our cyber IT founders, leaders, marketing leaders, sales folks, et cetera, to really grow their business, grow their partnerships, and eventually grow the resiliency across the region. So we had a really successful summit last month that brought together a variety of experts on global exports, CMMC. What else did we do? We did AI. We talked about how to move from working in the federal space to working in the commercial space, which a lot of folks are thinking about right now. And it was, during the shutdown, so it's really prescient. We've heard today about the struggles that we've had across the region and across the country, and we know that groups like ours and the NVTC and others are more important now than ever. Our 2 other pillars I'll just touch on quickly. One around cyber talent. So very exciting. In 2026, we'll be launching the Cybersecurity Association Foundation, which will really work on harnessing the talent we have in this region, make sure that the talent stays in the region, and is connecting to small and growing companies that they might not be aware of. So we're going to do this through a partnership with STEM Match and a few others. But if you're interested in this space, there's a lot of growth, and we're really focused on growing that area for the association. Lastly, you heard me mention a little bit about CMMC. One of our big focuses is cyber resilience. So this is our center not just for cyber professionals, but also for anybody who needs cyber solutions. We have a variety of special directories and others. Cyber is not a vertical, it really is a horizontal crossing every single industry. So if you have any cyber folks in your team who need upskilling or training, if you have any needs for cyber products or innovation, just let us know. We're happy to serve as a resource there. We also have a speakers bureau full of subject matter experts who can speak directly to your group or any other topic you need. Lastly, we heard a little bit about advocacy elsewhere, but we are very focused right now in Maryland. That's where we're headquartered. So sorry we crossed the river today. But if you have business interest in Maryland, we'll be very active in the Maryland legislative session that starts on January 15th. We'll be advocating for a lot of business-friendly and cyber-friendly bills. So it's a great time to get involved in that action. Thank you again, Tian. You're wonderful for bringing us all together in this space, you and your team. And we look forward to a fabulous 2026.
Thanks, Tosh. Thank you so much, Tasha. And our last opening speaker will be Marlon Bernal, who's an assurance partner with the awesome accounting firm of Forvis Mazars. Forvis has been a great sponsor and promoter of CONNECTpreneur, especially here in Northern Virginia. So we really thank you and your team for that. And come on up and tell us a little bit about the firm. They had a big merger with Mazars. So how's that all going? And what do you got? What do you see out there?
Thanks, Tian, and good morning, everyone. Thanks for having me here this morning. I'm Marlon Bernal. I'm an audit partner with Forvis Mazars, and yeah, I'm not sure how much you all know about Forvis Mazars because we came together in June of 2024 through a merger of Forvis LLP, which the legacy firms were Dixon Hughes Goodman here on the East Coast and BKD Advisors in the Midwest. And then in June of 2024, we merged in with Mazars USA, created an international two-member network firm, which was the Mazars Abroad. We're in over 100 countries outside of the United States, and here locally we have an office in Tyson's Corner, right down the street from this office space, and we've grown exponentially, right? In pre-COVID in 2020, I'm sorry, we had an office of about 60 professionals. To date, we have over 250 professionals serving the Mid-Atlantic DC metro area here, and we provide audit and accounting services, tax and advisory services, and within the advisory services, it's business valuations, technical accounting, transaction advisory services for those companies that are continuing to grow either organically or through mergers and acquisitions. We're excited to be a partner here of CONNECTpreneur. We've known Tian for a number of years, and love to be a partner of the ecosystem here in Northern Virginia, as we see a lot of growth and opportunity here as well. So with that, I'm not going to keep you from hearing the company rocket pitches and showcase. Thank you.
Thanks, Marlon. Thank you so much. All right, so we're ready to start the show. We have 7 presenters, 4.5 minutes each, no Q&A. If you have questions, they'll be out at their tables. Inez right here will be doing the timing. And you have a confidence monitor here, so you can also advance your slides with the clicker up here. So to introduce our first slate of 4 presenters, I'd like to bring up my good friend, Anthony Millen. Anthony is amazing. He's an entrepreneur himself. He's an investor and a venture capitalist, as well as being one of the top startup attorneys in the country. We're really blessed to have him in the region and blessed to have him as a sponsor for CONNECTpreneur for many, many years. Next, powered by Shulman Rogers, is a brainchild of Anthony's. It's disrupting the way startup law is being delivered to you guys. Basically, you can manage your legal costs now because they have fixed price packages for different types of services that are rendered by attorneys. And it's, we did a very nice masterclass last week, and we talked about getting prepared and getting investor ready. And legal has always been an issue for founders because it's not cheap, frankly, right? But now Next has a better solution, I think, and they have been proven out. There's been proof because they have won several awards from major publications such as Legal News and Legal Times, and they've bested some of the bigger law firms in the country. So with that, I'd love to bring Anthony up. Anthony, welcome, and thank you for all your support. Let's give it up for Anthony.
Thank you. Well, first of all, I want to have a big thank you to TN and Skylar and the whole CONNECTpreneur team. You know, our region is really special and unique in the country in terms of startup ecosystems. And I think what makes it so unique is the people that make up the ecosystem. And TN and his team are really a central part of that ecosystem, bringing us all together and helping drive it forward. So before I start, just a big thank you to TN and CONNECTpreneur. As TN said, Next, powered by Shulman Rogers, provides innovative, award-winning legal services. It was launched in 2018, looking at really trying to change the way legal services are packaged, priced, service delivered, changing the role that lawyers play in helping startups and really partnering with them to de-risk and grow their companies, how technology is used in the process, how to change the whole customer experience from an attorney-centric model to a client and customer-centric model. And we've been working very hard since then, launching out of this region. And as TN said, we've been the only law firm in the country to be a finalist the last 3 years at the big Legal Week National Industry Awards for Best Law Firm in the US for enabling startup success, winning it. And we've also, you know, been recognized for a lot of innovation that we bring. We've worked with hundreds of startup companies, both in the region, around the country, and global startup companies that are making their way to the US market. Finally, just based on that experience working with hundreds of startups, and seeing the need to really be investor ready, we launched a platform called My Next Raise this year, which is a legal investor readiness platform that wraps in AI-enabled technology, community, and education. And through that platform, we have, through our founder events, we set up over 400 one-on-one meetings over the past about 16 months, connecting founders and investors. We have an AI data room that helps drive due diligence process. So for more information on Next, you can go to next.law. And for more information on our My Next Raise platform, you can go to mynextraise.com. So I have the honor of introducing 4 of the companies today. The first company that I have the honor of introducing is ColdSnap. And ColdSnap is the revolutionary system transforming how ice cream and frozen treats are produced, transported, stored, and enjoyed. Please welcome Matthew Fonte, president of ColdSnap.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt Fonte. I'm glad to be here. Tien, thank you for having us back. I want to show you a little bit about ColdSnap. We have a couple of machines out there. We'd like to make some ice creams for you. I know it's cold, but indulge. ColdSnap started about 6 or 7 years ago. I had given my daughters invention journals, and before bedtime, when I was teaching them to read, I said, we're going to invent new products. And so I went to Barnes & Noble, got them these notebooks, and at nighttime would invent new toys or new products. And one day my younger daughter says, hey, Dad, let's invent a machine to make ice cream at home. And I said, well, that already exists. And she goes, what? Why don't we have one? I said, well, they stink. And so I explained why they stink. And that night we came up with the idea of a Keurig-style machine for ice cream. So this is ColdSnap. Although we designed this thing originally for the home, it got a little large and a little expensive. We sell the machines for just under $2,000. So until we're net cash flow positive, we thought we'd start in the commercial space. And what we learned is that in many places you can't have a frozen product. There's no freezer, there's no trucks bringing in frozen confections. So inside these pods, these cans, we have ice cream and non-dairy ice cream, but we also have lattes and smoothies and protein shakes and cocktails. And it's not practical to blend those ingredients and have to clean the blender. So this is a product where we can ship our pods around to room temperature, and we can freeze on demand, and the food and beverage never touches the machine. So there's no cleaning of the machine. So you'll see when you walk out there, you just grab a can. It could be a latte or smoothie, protein shake. Just put it in there. It freezes within 2 minutes and dispenses right into the cup. You're gonna like it. Thank you. I only have 2 minutes, so I have to talk fast. We have various products, and you can taste them out there. This is a large market. We're focused on the U.S. commercial market. Once we get to net cash flow positive, we'll make a smaller, less expensive home machine, and then we'll go international. Barriers to entry, we have 124 issued patents. We have technology where we mix and churn during the freezing process. We built a state-of-the-art factory in Boston, Massachusetts, where we can make up to 40 million pods per year. That's all been built. And we have contracts with Staples and Foodbuy, Aramark, Sodexo, Vistar. These companies bring food and beverage into colleges and universities, hospitals, Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 companies, manufacturing break rooms, car dealerships. There's our factory. We have traction. We have I think we're at 6.5 million in revenue this year, or since we started in April of 2024. Strong unit economics. We have a seasoned team. This is our third startup. We worked together first in the aerospace industry, sold that business, grew it and sold it. Then in the orthopedic business, grew it and sold it. This is our third venture. We've received various awards at Consumer Electronics Show and South by Southwest, etc. This year we raised $22.5 million from friends and family. We have another $2.5 million available. The smallest check is 25 grand. If you're interested in learning about our investment opportunity or any more about the business, please stop in and see us, and we'll be happy to share a pitch deck and tell you about Cold Snap. So thank you for your time. I appreciate being here. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Matt. I would now like to introduce Dacian. Dacian transforms a 30-second voice sample into actionable clinical insights using geometric unified learning, the first mathematically grounded explainable AI engine for early disease detection. Please welcome Dr. Wei-Ching Gu, founder of Dacian.
My name is Dr. Wei-Ching Gu. CEO and Chief Scientist of Data to Decision, Dacian. We use voice biomarkers and explainable AI for early disease detection. Currently, we are focused on elderly care, protect those once they protect us. There are three big problems for healthcare. One, detect disease too late. Two, doctors burn out. Three, AI is not explainable. A lot of people ask me, hey, Dr. Gu, you were a mathematician and also a full-stack engineer, professor of AI. How could you get into healthcare? I remember when I was 15, I go to college and my mom was so worried. Then I become a professor at 18. My mom held my hand and says, you must be your own doctor. I did not understand what she was talking about. But one day, when I was at UPenn, working in a fast control robots, and that time, in fact, Elon Musk was my student. But I got very bad news. My mom was diagnosed with cancer, later depression. I called her, I said, how is Mom doing? She said, I'm fine, you don't need to worry, but I can hear the voice said she's not fine. The voice is the only item that connect my mother with me for all of those years, all those miles away. So this leads me use voice to do research to detect diseases. How it works, I finally developed this geometric unified learning. You record 30 seconds of voice, we extract features and send it to our GUL engine and get explainable result, which can make various different APIs. GUL is the first explainable mathematical grounded AI engine for voice detect multiple diseases. Why GUL is different? We use similar case matching, no hallucination, need only 2% of data or to de-identified. So our product goes through detect the brain injury, cognitive decline, all the way to anomalies in healthcare. Our product gives people, family, patients, caregivers a peace of mind. Within 20 kind of diseases we can detect, 7 of them we achieved over 90% accuracy. Our market entry strategy is first using our tools as a documentation and screening tools. Then we make it become disease detection API call. By then, our revenue will exponential. Currently, we already have $31.5 million voice sense licensing agreement signed. And we are supported by National Science Foundation, and we are actually working with various clinics and hospitals. Our business model is SaaS-based. Basically, it's API licensing and strategic partners. Our regulatory pathway is, as I said, make as clinical decision support tool and go through FDA, 510K, and de novo. We do have competitors, but they are in single disease detection. Our multi-disease platform is unique and accuracy. Our roadmap is 24 months, and here we are asking for 3 million safe at 12 million cap, and match with 3 million grant and use of the fund basically is marketing and sale. This is my team. I have a very strong team. Most of them is my former student when they finished the PhD and a master degree, came back working for me. So thank you. And I wanted to say voice is next the frontier of diagnostic. Beijing has validated the science, now scaling the business. Let's work together, protect those who once protect us. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce Ibex Biosciences. Ibex Biosciences develops in-house therapies from inception for critical unmet legal needs, beginning with malaria and chemo-resistant colon cancer. Please welcome Murat Krochi, co-CEO of Ibex.
Welcome. I'm going to cover just our drug against chemo-resistant colon cancer in this presentation. So the standard of care for colon cancer is a drug called Folfox. It's a fluorouracil oxaliplatin. It's given to patients with colorectal cancer. And it works for about 65% of these patients. They go into complete remission. But after 5 years, those that come out of remission are 35%, and they have an average lifespan of around 12 to 18 months. And that amounts to 54,000 in the US and 935,000 worldwide. So our drug to address this market is an antibody drug conjugate that adheres to a solid tumor in chemo-resistant colon cancers. It's an antibody drug conjugate, and for those who don't know how it works, I'm going to give a short video. The antibody is in pink. It adheres to the cell surface antigen, in this case CD147. vesicle takes it in. This process is called endocytosis. Merges with another vesicle here. Enzymes come out, they cleave the toxin that's in the linker. So it's being cleaved right now. The toxin is now activated. This is an ADC again. And the cell, or in this case, the tumor, is eradicated. So this process works basically based on how much of your antigen is on the cell surface. And to the left, you see a response group. That is a response of chemotherapy. There's very, very little CD147. And then you see just to the right there in brown, that's CD147 on a patient with no response. And this correlates with survival, as you see. In orange, where there's low CD147, you have 80% survival. And when you have high in black, there's only 20% survival, 80% fatality. So we made this drug and we sent it to the National Cancer Institute, and it was tested against 7 out of 7 cell lines. It worked on all of them. From there, we decided to take it to an animal model. This is a hollow fiber model where they placed it on fiber tubes and implanted in the animals. To the left is intraperitoneal, or the chest cavity. To the right is the subcutaneous. And here in this experiment, at 10 milligrams per kilogram, it was a near eradication of the cancer cells. So we moved this drug forward into a solid tumor model. Solid tumor models where they take a human tumor, again, chemo-resistant solid tumor, HT29, they implant into the animal. And if you look at the left, you see the control, that's no treatment whatsoever, no treatment. And the tumor just continues to grow. Cisplatin is a positive control, it's a chemo agent, and you see it's reduced by a half. And just to the right are our test groups, and each of those dots represents an animal, a mouse. And you can see there's no tumor remaining in 4 of the 5 test groups. And so toxicity is always a concern, so how they measure that in these studies is through body weight. That's in the far right. You can see the control group is in black again, and it gained about 5%. Body weight. The cisplatin, of course, chemo agent lost body weight. It's normal, 10 to 15%, 5 to 10. And then just to the right of that, you see our test groups are basically in par with the control group. So this is showing outstanding toxicity. So IBEX has a number of drugs, but we're focusing here on the chemo-resistant colon cancer. It's a $24 billion market. It also worked on melanoma and ovarian cancer. This is led by Dr. Dela Cruz, who's the inventor of peptide phage display technology that won the 2018 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. Dr. Norman Lai to the right worked under Dr. Roscoe Brady, who went on to license technologies from that office to large pharma that sold in the billions. Myself and Michael has decades of experience in finance, accounting, and in Michael's case, law. So we're seeking a $10 million syndicated round to go into a phase 1 clinical trial for both refractory colon cancer and malaria. It's a price and convertible round in combination. Thank you very much. I look forward to answering any questions outside. Thank you.
I now have the privilege of introducing iLumen Scientific, which offers an office-based, non-invasive therapeutic for intermediate to advanced dry age-related macular degeneration. Please welcome John Valur, CEO of iLumen Scientific.
Thank you. Could everybody please close your left eye, take your pointer finger and put it in front of your right eye and try to see around that right eye. That's what patients who have age-related macular degeneration suffer from every day. iLumen is focused on improving vision by using ocular stimulation therapy. It's a non-invasive microcurrent stimulation that improves vision in patients that have age-related macular degeneration. Our therapeutic was developed by Dr. John Jarding, who is an optometrist, scientist, and inventor. The market is huge. Just in the States alone, there are more than 20 million people that have dry age-related macular degeneration, and revenues are expected to be at $68 billion by 2029.
Now, the rest of the market is focused on slowing the progression of the disease. Illumin is focused on reversing the loss of vision, that is, restoring vision in patients who have the disease. Just this year, Alcon acquired Lumathera, which is another energy-based therapeutic. They paid $850 million for that. What's very interesting is Illumin offers a superior therapeutic to Lumathera. Lumathera generated 6.2-letter mean improvement in visual acuity after 54 treatments or 21 months. Illumin generated a 9.6-letter improvement after 7 treatment sessions and only 3 months. Our pathway to an exit in first half of 2028 is clear. We've already completed our safety study, and we've already started our pivotal study, which is the EyeSight 2. And today we're looking to raise $35 million to support that. Now, our therapy includes basically an electrode that's applied to the surface of the eyelid and a second one applied to the back of the neck. And basically, patients go into a physician's office and sit for a 60-minute treatment. Now, we know that the photoreceptor cells are highly dependent on the RPE cells, and we know that RPE cell dysfunction occurs as we get older and is also due to oxidative stress. And because of this, there's a reduction in the transepithelium electrical potential across the RPE cells. And what this does is it decreases their ability to function properly and to help the photoreceptor cells. So essentially what we do is we restore that transepithelium production, and we also increase PEDF production, which helps the photoreceptor cells function. We've done a ton of clinical research on this, animal, human, as well as computational modeling. We did our initial safety study, and from that initial safety study, we demonstrated that 61.5% of patients who were treated saw a 10-letter or more improvement in visual acuity, again, just within the first 2 months or after 7 treatments. So imagine what a 10-letter improvement in visual acuity is like. Imagine if you went in, you could only read down through the line highlighted in purple, and then 2 months later, you could read all the way down to the line highlighted in blue. Wouldn't you do this therapy? So again, as I indicated, we are using the funding that we're raising today to fund our pivotal study. Our objective, as I indicated, is to drive towards a strategic acquisition. We have a number of patents that protect our core technology, and this is a very lucrative opportunity for physicians from both a revenue and a profit model, generating nearly $17,000 in the first year. We have a strong management team. We have a strong advisory board of medical advisors, and these are the strategics that we've already initiated conversations with who have shown an interest in acquiring our technology. And these are the deliverables that they've asked us to deliver. Our month 3 data from our pivotal study, submission to the FDA, and also a commercially ready product. Today we are doing a $35 million raise. We've already raised $15 million of that. We are looking for investors to come in and pick up the remaining $20 million, and you can invest as small as $50,000 and as much as $20 million. Again, this is a de-risked investment with the opportunity to exit within the next 30 months and to generate a 10 to 13x return. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to talking with you after today.
Thank you, John. Now to introduce our final 3 presenters, I'd like to bring up the unicorn herself, Debbie Klein, co-founder, chief creative officer of Buzzy Rocket. Phenomenal agency, so creative, and really love the work you guys do. And I know you're working with a couple of our CONNECTpreneur sponsors and partners and companies. So Deb, come on up, and thank you for all your support.
Thank you. Thank you to Tian and the team. And yes, it's very exciting to look out into the audience and see, well, without these glasses, I guess, look out into the audience and see amazing partners and clients out there. We've helped over 143 startups since we were founded in 2011, and thrilled to be here and part of this vibrant community. It's my pleasure to introduce Eric Berglund, co-founder and board member of Intramune Therapeutics, an exciting biotech startup focused on safe and effective food allergy management. Oh, I have a lot more to say about you. People with food allergies and their loved ones live in fear. Today, over 220 million people in the world suffer from food allergies, with 33 million in the US alone. Introimmune Therapeutics is addressing this multi-billion-dollar market. Their novel approach includes delivering precise amounts of allergens through an oral mucosal delivery system by embedding therapeutic agents in a fully functional toothpaste. They are backed by an experienced leadership team, 53 patents, and show continued impressive progress with excellent safety and adherence, while also providing indications of efficacy in a difficult-to-treat allergy population. Please join me in welcoming Eric, who will share more about how Introimmune makes allergen exposure as easy as brushing your teeth.
Good morning, everyone. Over here. Is this one working? Oh, yeah. There's a clicker on. Okay, thank you. Okay, good morning, everyone. TN, CONNECTpreneur team, thank you very much for this opportunity. As half of my talk is already given, thank you. I'm Eric Berglund. I'm a co-founder of Introimmune Therapeutics. It's a food allergy company that's developing products for not only treatment, but also the reduction of risk in children of developing food allergies, which is very important, sort of a new growing area. The company is raising $4 million now to support the launch of 2 consumer products in the near term, one of them in the next couple of months. Sorry, I should have gone to that first. So this is our team. I won't dwell on this. Unfortunately, the CEO can't be here, so I'm filling in for him, Michael Nelson. But the team is fantastic. We have a number of really people who are really close to the clinical allergy medicine, and including one of the directors of the Sean Parker Allergy Institute at Stanford is on our advisory team. Okay, so the size of the problem is enormous. I'll just stop here to say that it's about over $370 billion is spent each year to support children who have food allergies. This is an enormous cost, and the costs go not only to the person who suffers the allergies, but also the family and the support team around it in terms of the fear, the anxiety, the social inclusion. So this is really an enormous problem, and I'm sure everyone here has been touched in some way by food allergies. So I won't beleaguer the point, but it's about over $20,000 per child per year in costs associated with food allergies. Our products, we have 3 product pipelines. The first 2 are the ones that are relevant to the $4 million raise that I just mentioned. The first is called Early On. It's a toothpaste that contains allergens from some of the foods that a child might become allergic to. So if you use this early on before the child has a food allergy, you can reduce the risk of developing a food allergy. This is a relatively new area of science. It's been sort of demonstrated in a number of longitudinal studies. It's very exciting, and it's a wide open area. This is a way to eliminate a food allergy before it begins. Our other product is a compounding kit that contains our toothpaste that will allow doctors to treat people who suffer from food allergies already by adding their own proteins in. And I can discuss what these look like a little bit later. This is the compounding kit that will launch in the next 2 months. Come talk to me afterwards and I'll go through the elements of it. And we have some sales projections that come from our conversations with allergists, which have been very healthy. These are very sort of conservative numbers, but we have pretty high margins, and I'll just leave it at that. Moving to the other product, which is food exposure, which is lowering the risk of developing food allergies. Again, this is a new area. The market is worth about $13 billion. Our products are set to really disrupt that market. This is basically the ounce of prevention versus the pound of cure paradigm. What we know is that if you give kids exposure to the food proteins that they might become allergic to, you can lower the risk by up to over 80% of developing that food allergy. And these are our products, the early on products that will launch in about 1 year from now that will be supported by the $4 million that we're raising. And come talk to me after, I'll talk about these different dosage forms and so forth. And here's some ideas of what we have with the 2 products combined and what the sales projections could be over the next few years. I'll just jump ahead just to quickly note that this is a very well patented platform. We have over 50 patents issued, and we expect we have at least 10 more years of protection with our current patent portfolio, although we expect to be adding to that as we do more research. And most importantly, this is our raise that I just mentioned. We're raising $4 million of equity. The first million immediately at a very sort of a discount to our previous raises, 67% discount, so at only $1 a share. That's to get us up and off the ground with the first product, which is a compounding kits, and to also help us get some things organized in the company in terms of an audit to help us with future crowdfunding efforts. After the first $1 million, we want to raise up to $4 million with at $2 or more a share, with the goal of getting the second product, which is a reduction of risk product, onto the market. And we see these are going to be real big money makers based on our projections. And we anticipate a direct listing of the company in Q3. So people who invest now will be able to see a 5 to 7x increase in their investment just over 1 year's time. And we're currently talking to some investment banks right now about the direct listing. So please come talk to me afterwards. I'm glad to talk in greater detail about any of this. Thank you very much.
There we go. There we go. It's my pleasure to introduce Barry Menagas, founder, CMO, and president of Stability Teeth, a solution that provides a same-day, low-cost solution to missing teeth. Patients want fixed, functional, beautiful teeth at a reasonable cost. Dentists need a simpler, faster, more profitable solution. Until now, no option existed that was both clinically elite and economical for patients. Enter Stability Teeth. They're disrupting an outdated denture market and challenging the $60,000 implant status quo with a solution that delivers new teeth in one visit at half the price. Please join me in welcoming Barry, who will share more about how Stability Teeth is disrupting the denture market and forecasting profitability in 2026.
Hi, I'm Barry Menagas. I'm the co-founder and president of Stability Teeth, which is a U.S. patented, fully implant-supported, full mouth replacement for people with missing teeth. And our story started with one man who spent 51 years in dentistry, and that man was my dad, Dr. Carl Menagas. In 2018, he called me. He said, "Bear, I invented something. I think it could change dentistry, and I need the right engine behind it." And that is why I'm standing here today. Now, he told me something that stopped me cold in my tracks, which is that 36 million Americans have zero teeth in their mouth, and millions more are in a state of failing teeth, and almost all of them need a full mouth replacement that they likely can't afford. He told me that every day patients would come into his office needing a full mouth replacement and walk right back out the door because they couldn't afford it, and that dentistry was not only failing the patients, but failing the clinicians that were trying to serve them. Now, before Stability Teeth and even today, you've got two main options in dentistry. The dreaded denture. Tell me you can picture this sitting in a glass of water by your grandfather's bedside. Does this seem like a long-term stable solution? It's falling in and out of your mouth, you can't taste, you have a palatal covering, but hey, it's affordable, so it might be the only thing you can get. And then there's the gold standard in dentistry. This is called the All-On-X. This is a fully implant-supported prosthetic set of teeth that stay permanently affixed in your mouth, no palate, you can't take it out, looks, feels, and functions almost like your original teeth. What's the problem? Problem is it's $40,000 to $80,000, and 97% of the addressable patient market simply can't afford it. So then you get to Stability Teeth. We offer that same clinical gold star outcome, a fully implant-supported prosthetic set of teeth that stay firmly affixed in your mouth, no palatal covering, but at 50 to 70% less, we now can help more patients, and for the doctors themselves, this is an easier, faster, more predictable surgery, and they have the ability to help more patients. Now, our serviceable, obtainable market is huge. Remember that 36 million patients with no teeth? They represent 500 billion of an unmet clinical need. But where Stability Teeth monetizes is with the providers themselves. And this is where our business model gets exciting. General practitioners are entering the implant and full arch space at a 15% growth rate per year, and that is a $475 million serviceable, obtainable market for us, and we want every single one of them licensing, adopting, and offering Stability Teeth. This doesn't even include specialists, which only expand our market. Now, unlike the fractional, improvisational nature of that All-On-X market, we've built a franchise-like operating system that practices can adopt from day one. So what is day one? When a practice joins Stability, they enter a complete ecosystem. They go to attend our 2-day immersive training, they learn our clinical mastery of the patented protocol, and they learn the business mastery of how to be in the business of Stability. Then they gain 24 access to our Stability Academy that houses our IP, surgical videos, guides, protocols, marketing, staff training. They get all of it 24/7 as they need it. And then we added PASS, Patient Acquisition Support. This is one of our #1 breakthroughs because it's tackling one of the biggest problems facing these practices, which is how do they get to the patients? So now we do it for them. We build their marketing campaigns, we generate patient leads, we vet those leads, we book those leads, so all they have to do is close cases. And by adding PASS, we're aiding 5 to 8x revenue per practice per year, which PASS alone, this is why we're hitting 54% revenue growth last year, 80% of which was recurring revenue. We have grown from 18 practices in 2023 to 65 today, representing over 1 million in revenue, with over 4,000 arches of Stability already out in the market across the United States. And with our growth trajectory and our stacked revenue streams, we're heading toward profitability in 2026. Now, for 51 years, as I said, my dad devoted himself to one mission, which is advancing dental care for the everyman. And using Stability, he grew his own practice from 1.5 to 5 million, proving our model before we even scaled it. And though he's since passed, he gave us a clear mission, and we've built the team to take it forward. We are not just innovation. We are a new standard of care in dentistry for a population that has been ignored since the dawn of time. We are now seeking 6 to 8 million in preferred equity for a minority position, 17.5 million in a pre-money valuation. These funds are going to be used to scale our footprint nationally, invest in our PASS program, support facility growth, and here's what I want to leave you with. Every dollar invested is not just going to generate returns. You're going to restore health, dignity, and hope to a population who's been ignored. We're building the future of full mouth restoration, and we hope you want to build it with us. Thank you so much.
It's my pleasure today to introduce Lon White, co-founder and CEO of Volari. Every day, scammers are exploiting people we care about most: seniors, neurodiverse adults, and those with developmental disabilities. Last year, U.S. seniors alone lost $5 billion to scams. Volari is building the next generation of online safety tools to protect these vulnerable populations from digital exploitation and fraud. Their digital safety platform was created to protect these individuals and the loved ones that care about them from fraud and digital exploitation. Please join me in welcoming Lon to share more about how Volari has already prevented over 500,000 scams from reaching seniors, and how their blended B2C and B2B models position Volari to reach. I won't take that thunder from you.
Excellent, thank you. My name is Lon White. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Volari. We are raising a $1 million safe that we just opened with 40% committed, and it's my honor to be here today and share a little bit with you about Volari. This is Renee. She is my co-founder and my partner Mike's mother-in-law. Last year, she lost more than $40,000 overnight to online sweepstakes fraud. Do me a favor, just raise your hand real quick. If you look at this picture, you can think of somebody in your own family who you worry about or who you know has been taken advantage of online. Anybody? All right, I see a bunch of hands. Okay. Thank you for making my business case for me. I had about 9 people come up to me before we started to tell me their own stories. We realized this market has been completely ignored. How bad is it? Look at these numbers. They speak for themselves. Almost $5 billion lost to online theft and fraud for seniors just in the last year. These numbers are only going to go up as AI becomes more sophisticated and as boomers age. These will never go down. We'll only see them go up, and no solution has existed to help take care of our aging moms and dads until now. Which brings us to Volari. We are the first online safety solution designed to protect our moms and dads from online scams. We target the responsible family members, their adult children, me, my partner Mike, many of us in this room. We become our mom and dad's digital traffic cop, and using our secure peace of mind portal, We have the ability to set controls, customize alerts, and really optimize and customize the settings for our moms and dads so they are optimally protected. And the market opportunity is enormous. With no one else in this space, we see an opportunity for a $13 billion total market with more than 60 million seniors online with devices, most of whom have no idea how to use them. We see a clear path to be a more than $60 million business in the next 3 to 5 years. And we validated that to our pricing. And in terms of our go-to-market, I mentioned the responsible family members. We are going to own the moms, the Gen X moms. They are the caretaker of the family. They carry the emotional load and burden. That is who we are going to target through a precision campaign that reaches them where they are. Advertising, marketing, and PR led by a world-class marketing team and effort that is going to be highly targeted and optimize our customer acquisition cost. We have significant traction. Our pilot has been completed. We've already blocked more than 500,000 scams from reaching seniors just in the last 5 months. One senior, more than 50,000 scams in just 1 month alone. Our infrastructure, our operations are ready for national scaling. We're compatible across multiple systems, multiple devices. Our infrastructure is ready, and we have a lengthy innovation pipeline that we are ready to start building. We look at our team. This is the thing I'm most proud of. Strong, dedicated expertise in each one of these areas, and our advisors, just as strong. Background to JP Morgan and Mike Nash over there, who worked in the garage with Bill Gates. This is a powerhouse team. I have our bios out at our table. I invite you to come take a look at them and read more about the team behind Volare. We see ourselves as both a B2C and B2B, where we have the opportunity to generate revenue through monthly subscriptions, annual memberships, and enterprise label white labeling opportunities with national partners. We already have 7 strategic partners in development that we will be formalizing early next year. Thank you. Last, we see an opportunity to create not just a company, but to define an entirely new category. We invite you to join us on this mission to protect aging seniors, our moms, and our dads online. I look forward to meeting you outside. I think Tien, to John, to the rest of the team here, and thank you for hosting us today. And I look forward to sharing more with you outside about Volare. Thank you.
Thank you, Lon. Lon's from San Diego. Is the weather cold enough for you? Or
I have to take out my jacket.
I know we have some people from Minnesota here in Boston, but yeah, have some ice cream. I'll tell you, it is fantastic. But let's give it up for our awesome presenters and presenting companies. Definitely one of the best that I can recall in recent memory. I know I'm always saying that, but I really mean it this time. Amazing companies. So please go talk to them. Thank you guys for coming out. We have the place until noon. Thank you, Ray. And thank you, David, and thank you to all of our sponsors and people that made this event happen. Wish everybody a safe and blessed holiday season, and be safe out there, and let's kick some butt next year, okay? Good to see you guys.